Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So today the MBK strategy made me over 18k because 10k is already gone at this level right here. That was the first TP, right? Now I've already secured this second trade because my stop loss is around this zone right here. But by now you are probably asking yourself, what is the MBK strategy? Don't worry, because the video of the MBK strategy is actually quite buried underneath a lot of videos on this channel, right? But don't worry, I actually have this thing right here. I'm going to actually explain the MBK strategy because it will take me about just a little bit of, I think, 5 seconds to actually do that, right? And it's very, very easy to understand. So don't worry yourself. I'll actually explain it once we go on. So yes, when I came into the market, this wasn't what I actually wanted to trade. To be honest, I actually wanted to trade with inducement sweep, right? I wanted price to use these two levels as inducement, sweep it all the way back down to this fair value gap right here, so that I can do execute my buy right there, because I was actually looking forward for a buy. But I realized that it has been a while that I've used the MBK strategy. So why don't I use it today? Because at the time that I actually came on this chart was around this zone right here. I think around this zone right here. So why don't I just wait for the MBK strategy to actually come so that I can actually use it, right? Very, very simple. And as you can see, it went on and gave me a marvelous trade. So let me go ahead, let's explain what the MBK strategy is. So first thing first, I have to actually mark something or write something down, because I don't want you guys to actually misinterpret it, or I don't want you to actually don't understand what I'm doing, right? So this candle that I just marked it on, which is the MBK candle, is actually on 12, are you listening? 12:05 a.m., right? So AM UTC plus what? So UTC plus 0. So obviously that is the candle. 12:05 a.m. UTC plus 0. So you can just go ahead, go to Google or something, and just make sure that they will do what? They will change this to your own time, right? When they change it to your own time, you probably see this right here. And I promise I'll make an indicator that will actually do what? Try its best and actually identify this MBK strategy right here, so that you just have a little bit of settings on the indicator, and you have this strategy pop up. So that's just it. So I just have to write it here. I don't want it to look bulky, but yeah, that's just it. The candle right here is on 12:05 a.m. UTC plus 0. Someone will say 0005 a.m. It's that simple. So that's right there is a 12:05 candle. And with the MBK strategy, this is how easy it was. I'm not really going to do anything on this. I'm just going to use a different, okay, let me just do it on that, right? Because it's not really that a big deal. All right. So after you mark the 12:05 candle, right? After you mark the 12:05 candle, the only thing you are waiting for to trade the MBK strategy is a BOS. The first BOS above this, you are entering a buy. The first BOS below this, you are entering a sell. That is all. That is everything you have to know about the MBK strategy. It's not any big deal. That is just it. You don't have to stress yourself. This is just it. Now it becomes tricky, because what a lot of people do and they fail to trade this, I'll actually teach you so that you try and avoid it, right? Why do they fail to do to trade this? I said the first BOS after the MBK strategy. So a lot of people, what they'll do is, you see that this right here was a last high, right? So they are going to mark this. So when the MBK strategy actually comes up and take this, they will start buying. But that is not the first BOS after the MBK strategy. This is the MBK strategy here. And this actually happened way back before the MBK strategy started, right? This low right here is also not the first BOS, because it happened before we got into the MBK strategy. So you don't have to actually make that same mistakes. Wait for the BOS and you execute based on that BOS, and that is it. That's all you need to know about the MBK strategy. Now this is the strategy that I actually use to build all my accounts, to be honest, because that is the first strategy that I've ever invented. That is the first ever strategy. I was furious in Forex. I just had to find a strategy that works, and this was perfect. So that's just it. You execute on the BOS. If there's a fair value gap, you can wait for a retracement before execution. You can sell right here. If it's above, you do what? You buy. So that is just it. It's not a big deal, right? Very, very simple. So let's look at today's trade. How did I actually get it? Because as you can see, the MBK strategy just started. What am I looking for and what am I waiting for? Yes, of course, I'm looking for the what? The first BOS above. So yes, as you can see, price actually pushed all the way up, creating the what? The first high after the what? The MBK strategy. So you can see that the MBK strategy is here. Price just created the first high. That is well noted. So you have to note that when price breaks above that, you do what? You execute your trade. And you can see we are having a push all the way up from this zone as well. Price creating the what? The first what? Low after the MBK strategy. Do you understand the concept? The first high has been creating, the first low has been what? Creating. So you can see the price actually push all the way up and we are coming all the way back down to this zone right here. What do you think is going to happen if price actually breaks below this zone right here? That is the first BOS of this whole level. We are doing what? We are executing our trade on it. If price breaks above here, that's the first what? Breakout of that high. We are doing what? We are executing our buy on that. So it's that simple. We either sell here or we buy there. Easy as that. You don't have to stress yourself that much. So let's go ahead and look at it. Now, actually wanted to forward it because I've already traded this, right? So I wanted to forward it and you just see what happens. So obviously, I'm having an alarm on what's gold. I'm having an alarm on gold, so I have to actually check it out. But yes, this is what is happening. You can obviously see that price has broken through this zone right here. So what do you do? Now, let me actually check on gold and see what is happening. So you can see the price is pushing down massively. And this is all because of the what? The MBK strategy, right? Nothing serious, just a little bit of what? Twist and you are all good. So you can see what is happening. The MBK strategy worked perfectly. Very, very nice. So yes, let's come back to the analysis of the day. Obviously, so this was what I was actually looking at. You can already see that we've broken through. All you need to do is do what? Execute your trade. But sometimes I usually wait for a pullback because sometimes when price actually pulls back just like this, now that was where I actually executed my trade, right? Very, very simple. So you can wait for a pullback. And sometimes I don't really wait for a pullback. When price just breaks below it, I can equally just go ahead and execute a trade. The only times that I don't execute a trade like this is if there is a what? A fair value gap above this zone right here. If there's a fair value gap, I have to be vigilant, I have to be careful because price might actually come back into it. So there's a high chance that if I'm executing a trade right here, I have to actually put my stop loss either above this or above the MBK strategy. So those are the only times that I don't do that. But today I didn't because I just waited for a what? A pullback. And when that pullback came all the way to retest this lows right here, as you can see, this was a very nice low. So when price came back just to retest those lows, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to execute my trade with my stop loss just above it, and I'll be targeting the last low. I'm not actually targeting a small movement because with the MBK strategy, it gives what? It gives out a what? A very huge trade. That is how the MBK strategy works. So I'll be targeting this last low right here. Remember, I was actually having a fair value gap here that I actually wanted price to come all the way back into so that I can actually do what? Execute a buy trade. So I should have been worried, and yes, I was actually worried about this zone right here. But nonetheless, I know price was pushing all the way down. So all I needed to do is just target the last what other block right here. So by the time price will come all the way back into that last order block right there, I should be looking forward to getting out of my first trade within this last order block just right there, right? So yes, that was just it. Now it was a very simple trade, not really a very big deal, right? So let me go ahead and execute a trade based on that candle that I actually executed the trade on, right? So this was the candle right here. So let's go ahead and sell what? 10 right there with our first TP, let's say around this zone, right? So it's very, very nice. Your first TP could have been here. I actually waited for price to get into these zones before I actually do what I get out of my first trade. So yes, that was just it. It was a very simple trade. Now, if you run it over, you realize that this was very, very easy. All I had to do is just sit down, wait for price to push all the way down and hit my what? My final TP. Now, these fluctuations right here, a lot of you guys who have actually run out of the trade But yes, that just shows that yes, sellers are getting much and much more what harder as price is doing what going all the way down. As you can see, the full TP actually did what got hit very nice. So let's go back to the actual trade and you can see it right here. Price is still shooting down massively. When you look at the bigger time frame, this is what we are currently having. Price is almost at my second zone right here, which is my second zone of what buyers. So price is almost at that level. So I have to be vigilant. I have to be careful. I have to actually do what? Get out of the trade in massive profit. So any sign of what a push all the way up to somewhere around this zone, I'll be getting out of this trade right here. And yeah, that is it. Now this works both ways. Remember, if this MBK strategy was actually a buy, this is the same trend that we would have had. That's why I actually loved it when I was building my account. Right now, I'm not really building my account, so I can be scalping just a little bit. But yes, the MBK strategy is one of my best strategies, to be honest. You can go down and check out the video I made on it, but it's a solid strategy. So try your best and learn it, try your best and use it. I've been teaching this to my students, so try your best and learn it as well because it's a good strategy, right? So it's that simple. I think someone has ever told me that they don't usually see me use the MBK strategy again. Well, this video is for you. You can see that I'm using it today and it's quite what marvelous. You can equally use it tomorrow or you can use it. I think today is Friday, right? So you can equally use it on Monday and it works every single day and every single week. And the most important thing to know is with the MBK strategy, I did not actually add this. So let me go ahead and add it, right? So with the MBK strategy, it works both ways. Why am I saying it works both ways? So this becomes a what? A bridge between sellers and buyers. In any case, we have a change of character right here. That is the only rule that the MBK strategy has. A change of character right here will equally show that price is threatening to push above this. But that is not to be worried. If it's not a tangible or change of character, you can choose to ignore it. But if it's a tangible change of character, you can do what? You can actually get out of the trade or try your best and do what? And execute a buy towards the MBK strategy. Because as I've already said, it works both ways. If price actually comes all the way back up again and breaks above this high that it created right here, we are looking for what? Buys again. So it works both ways. It doesn't just work one way, right? But most of the times it works just one way because it will take the whole day and you still be in profit for the whole day. So that's why usually I don't really trade it a lot nowadays. And moreover, it's quite late, so I don't really trade it. I don't really trade it every day, right? But yeah, that's just the MBK strategy for you guys. As you can see, it's a very nice strategy. It made a lot of what profits today. And I'm about to close this trade. I don't really have to trade anymore. I've gotten my catch of the day. I've actually reached my target of the day. And obviously, yesterday was a bad day for me. A video is coming up just showing how bad yesterday was for me. But yes, this is the MBK strategy. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, try and use it, try and learn it, and let's see where it's going to get you right. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.